Yesterday, I was scanning through the headlines on the various news sites that I check each morning, and one particular headline caught my attention. Hillary Clinton had brought out her favorite wooden spoon and had started stirring the shit with it. I sat down and I wrote a script chastising Hillary's hypocrisy of attacking Trump for making speculative and divisive accusations whilst she's making her own speculative and divisive accusations, as well as her hypocrisy of Trump having a personal agenda and not believing in democracy, something I don't actually disbelieve in, but at the very same time, the same could be said of her. But after rereading the script and editing it multiple times, I still wasn't happy with it. And it's because it didn't address what I believe are the core issues here. Hillary and Trump are the opposite sides of the same coin. They're two politicians who believe that the way to gain personal political power and grow their base of support is to wage a bitter war of words and personal attacks on their political rivals and their respective supporters. And in the process, they are dividing our nation into an increasingly polarized, partisan, and now frequently violent and extremist us and them mentality. And to be fair, if it wasn't Hillary and Trump, sooner or later, it would be two other individuals, one from each party, because this is what our political system, this is what it's devolved into. When the Constitution of the United States was written, there were no political parties, and there was no mention of them, in the actual Constitution. Only later on through amendments such as the 12th Amendment. The Founding Fathers, they didn't anticipate political parties forming because they believed that the inevitable differences of opinions and the needs, from the differing states, that they could be resolved through rational and reasonable negotiation by the elected officials who were directly representing the will of their constituents. Whilst an admirable philosophy, this ideology was also obviously very naive. The two parties were founded due to the inability to reach a consensus on foreign policy and how strong of a role a central government should play in our newly formed nation. George Washington, first president of the United States, seeing the divisions growing during his term, he warned us of the perils of a two-party system. And it was a very uncanny and incredibly accurate prediction of the exact toxic partnership and violence that we're living in today. He was so disgusted by it that he had to be literally talked into running for a second term. And let's face it, realistically, there is no way to revert to the initial ideology of a no-party system. Nor is it kind of like realistic to believe or expect that politicians will always put the good of the nation and all of its citizens above the good of their own party or of their own personal political ambitions. So what's the solution? Well, a headline that I saw today, it might be the answer. And Trump, through his divisiveness, might well unwittingly be the solution that our nation is so much in need of. And that will be the focus of my next video.